Hello everyone and welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. We're going to be doing hour 4 of our little game jam here that we're working on at the moment. The next thing I want to do is get I want to get the spawners set up basically and working in the shop as best I can. We need to do a couple of things. So one thing we need to do is create a individual spawner for each of the for the turrets and the generators. That's the first thing that we need to do. The second thing we need to do is get it connected to the shop. And then the third thing we need to do is make sure that when we're spawning a generator or spawning a turret, it takes the damage or the income increase from a already spawned item or object. The reason for this is because if I spawn this one, then it's on 1, it's increasing by 1 every second, and I upgrade it to 2, and then I spawn another one, it's going to start at 1, which isn't going to be very helpful. It's going to make things very sporadic. So we need to keep it even, basically, or at least the same. So the one thing we're going to do is we're going to come to we'll do the turret first. I think they're both going to be pretty much the same. But what they need to do is we just need it to be so BP underscore turret spawn. Spawner works. And we can duplicate this with the generator. It can be exactly the same BP. It's purely just a object in the world that we can pull from. So let's get rid of the giant master. We can get rid of the projectile. We can get rid of we'll keep most of the other stuff. I think we can probably get rid of the player widget for now. That looks like pretty much everything we're going to be working with today. So we're going to add a billboard like so, and this billboard will just kind of I suppose it could be there, and then we'll also add an arrow, and the arrow is purely just so that we know the direction, the forward-facing direction of the spawner. I will drag the billboard up a slight bit, just because I think if it spawns in this location, these things are going to be bigger than the actual billboard, and I don't want them to clip in the ground. But we can ultimately play around with it. So now that we've done that, we're going to duplicate this for the generator, and we can leave it in here. So we can just say BP generator spawner, and I should have a folder for generator, I think, somewhere. There it is. I can see it. So we're just going to move that into there. So move here. Okay. So, oh gosh, that was very fast. I didn't mean to go that fast. Let's slow that camera down a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to drag out these spawners and put them relatively where it should be. Perfect. And we're just going to, I'm going to delete these as I add them, just because I don't want them to actually be there. And I think they're just going to get in the way. So we'll kind of move them into sort of the right position, kind of like the middle part of it. And then we'll try and do our best to aim it ever so slightly to be correct. So that looks kind of right to me. I feel like that these should be all aligned. So I'm just gonna bring that to there. I'll bring this one forward a bit. I think that's good. The middle one's gonna stay. And then we just need to copy these two and drag them along. And then we'll just kind of realign the rotation so that they actually shoot where they're supposed to. And we'll get that more in the middle. Same for this one. This one might be the hardest one. We might need to drag it along a little bit and just rotate so that they're kind of shooting in the right direction. We'll test everything, don't worry. So that is the spawner for our turrets. Now, what we need to do, I'm going to test spawning a turret first before I do the generators. The reason is because once I get rid of those turrets, this is going to do a lot less damage, and I'm not going to earn 1,000 as quick. So we're going to go into the shop, and we need to know roughly how much the turret's going to cost. But we'll add that in a moment. So what I need to do, and it's going to be very similar code for the generator. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do both of these pretty quickly. But we want to get, so we need to do also the cash checks. So we'll do monies, we'll do the deleting, we'll do the branch, because that's all going to pretty much be the same. Now, I'm not going to increase the prices of a new turret. I'm going to keep that at 1,000. So that it's not ridiculously hard to get another turret if you want one. But what we do need is we need the turret cost. We need to change this to turret cost. And if I remember correctly, I sent it to 1,000. I did. I set it to 1,000, which is great. So we know it's going to cost us 1,000. That's going to all do its thing there. That's great. Now, again, I upped the price here for the damage, but we don't want to do that. So, what we want to do now is we want to get all actors of, we want a different get all actors of, we want the turret spawner, and we want to get a random value. Can I do random array item? Yeah, there we go. So random array item. So this is going to find a random spawner out of the 4. And then we want to spawn an actor from class. And the actor is going to be turret, wherever that is, turret. And we're going to get to the transform. So we're going to get transform, get actor transform. And it can just basically, it should hopefully be able to take the same transform. Well, again, this is where we'll tweak it if we need to. So once we've done that, that's our new turret. So what we want to do is we want to destroy the actor. And I'm thinking that I want to do this here because if this is not valid, I don't want to do anything. So is this valid? Because if it's not valid, I don't like. For now, we can just have it take the 1,000 anyway. Yeah, we can have it take the 1,000 anyway. So like, it's more for you if you buy all 5 and then you decide to buy another one. And the reason we destroy the spawn is because we don't want to spawn a second one in the same location. We just want it to be in an empty location. So that way, you know, every time you buy one, it's only going to be able to pick from a smaller pool of turret spawners. So let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to take me a while to be able to get. Oh my gosh, the amount I'm going to need. We'll see. We were already at 360. It's being very slow because I had my old project up. I forgot to shut it, so I'm going to shut that in a minute. That's why my memory is being destroyed. So I didn't put the price on that. I'll have to update that as well. I also need to update the camera movement. so that it's UI only. So we're just kind of waiting to get some money, really. Hopefully we get it. We should do with the generators. And we should get on this next one, actually. Okay, so we know if you wait, you could be able to buy another generator. Did I buy it? I did. See, and we got another generator. But it is not got the correct transform, and it does not. It's not sat in the actual ground. So we need to bring those spawners down and apparently rotate them. But it's you see the general idea, right? Even though that's interesting that it's got the same rotation. Huh. Okay. Either way, all of these need to come down ever so slightly. So we know that much. Let's bring them down to about there. Interesting that the rotation didn't work, even though we've got the arrow. Huh. So billboards at 0. Location is 20, which is fine. Because it's going to this, right? It's going to the default scene route as opposed to the billboard. Yeah, because it's just getting the spawner. So get billboard. And then get transform from there. Get relative transform could be an idea. We'll give it a go. I'm going to also close my other project while we're here, so that we're not being slowed down as much. Get some of that video memory back. Okay, it really doesn't like me right now. Okay, that's better. Right. So we'll try the billboard relative transform. If not, I'll have to finagle that a bit better. But at least we got the spawner working, and hopefully it should be at the right size now. So we'll just give this guy a chance to gain us some monies. He's doing a good job. Our turret's doing a good old job. Okay, we'll just let him finish off this last one while we wait, and the generator is also generating some money. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so buy turret. Where did this one end up? I didn't get one. What? How did that happen? Oh, he's over there. Oh no, and he's also shooting in the wrong direction. Oh, he's all over the place. Oh no, he's shooting in the right direction. He's just aiming in that weird way. Okay. Um so okay. So it didn't like the billboards. Uh, so it didn't like the relative transform. I wonder if I can get transform again. Get world transform. Let's try that one instead. I think it's because it was the relative, so it's like, oh, it's 0, 0, 20, but it's actually not. The bullets are going in that direction anyway. It's because they're coded to go from point A to point B, so it's just purely getting this thing to actually face the right direction. To make it look good. The bullets will still try and go in the correct direction. To speed things up, what I'm going to do, because otherwise I'm going to be sat here waiting forever, is I'm just going to give myself 1,000 monies to get us going. And then we can take a look at it from there. So, right, buy turret. Okay. And he's still in the wrong direction. And he's still too high. Okay, so let's bring that back down again, because I think maybe I've made a mistake there. And I'm gonna get arrow and get the get forward vector. I'm gonna make I said get, I think I meant make rotation from the X value. We'll take that out. So we get split that. We can get location. And then we'll use the forward value to make a rotation for the actual rotation. Hopefully that will work, but we'll see. Okay, well, it's also so it's rotated a bit. It's also still a little too high. We'll bring it down a bit more. There we go. And so even though that thing is rotating, the arrow is acting as if it's this way. I think if we split these two, split that, plug in that, and minus, I think if we minus 90, it's either minus or adding 90, we should get the effect that we want. We're close, we're figuring this out. I hate dealing with rotation with objects. When I was doing the wall, this was something that just took me ages to get right because it's just so fiddly. But we'll figure it out. Don't worry, guys. We'll figure it out. All right. Okay, that worked. Let's see if they can earn me another 1,000, and we'll try it again. So that one works. We just gotta hope that the other one does. I find rotation so weird because you expect it just to face the direction that the arrow's facing, but it just doesn't sometimes. Hopefully the other ones I spawn don't just face in totally different directions, and then we're back to the drawing board. But we'll give it a go. Okay. Buy another turret, please. Thank you. And that one's also facing the right direction. Well, we should get another juicy 1,000 in a second. Come on, guys. There's 3 of you. Take him out. Come on. Also, those things are still slightly floating, so I need to bring that down a little bit more. But we know that the position's correct, so that's good. And we can buy turrets, which is even better. Okay, buy another turret. Thank you. And that one is also facing the correct direction, and also shooting our main man, the giant, which is what you love to see. Now there's 4 of them. They are all absolutely destroying this guy. Is this guy actually firing, though? I feel like it's not. It is. There's a weird thing where sometimes when you're spawning stuff, if you don't see it, sometimes they just don't spawn. I don't understand why it does that. There is a way to fix it, but I can never remember what that way is. Brilliant. So we got another 1,000. Let's grab that final turret. And where's my final turret? Where's my boy at? Oh, I jumped down. My bad. So where was my final turret? Where did he go? Nobody knows. It's just I definitely paid for him. So what happened to him? If I go in here, is he not in the wall or anything like that? Nope. Interesting. I think I may know why. Okay, so this works. So we don't need to touch that again. So we get the mones. We say get all actors. We get a random item from the array. And then we say, is it valid? So maybe it wasn't valid. But we have got 4 there. There is another way we could do. Will be -1 if empty. I'll tell you what. We'll make our lives a bit easier. Let's do this the right way. Let's do a print string. And we're going to say, tell me what one you found me. Because if it's 0, I guess it's going to be empty, right? It thinks it's empty, but it might not be. Okay. Let's go back into this. Go to mones. We're going to say, I'm going to give myself 5,000 to start with. That's just so I can create every single one. And then we're just going to see what happens when I click them. So we're going to go enter. We're going to buy a turret. 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 And we've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think I know what's happening here. I know what's happening here. Okay, so it now thinks it's empty, but this time we've got 2 empty spots. So I think because of the randomizer, it's just not agreeing with that. So, okay. So we get all actors of BP turret spawn. We get 1, and it says it must be saying it's not valid. We'll print string. But it should do because it's still in the world. We'll just say not valid. We're gonna have the same problem on the generator, so we might as well figure it out for the turret first, right? Before moving on. So 0. So it's picked 0 from the array, and it says it's valid, so it's there. Next time we click it, we get a 0. It's valid, so it's got to be there. It's valid. It's got to be there. It's valid. It's got to be there. Not valid. But you took my money anyway. And there's only 3 there. Bulls. It picked out 0 every time, which is kind of weird too. And it's just, again, look up, make sure there's nothing just dangling off the roof. And there's no weird shots coming from anywhere else. So for some reason, it did not spawn. Maybe if I just get the world location of no. So now that I know, get world location, or get actor location. Okay. So it definitely didn't say it was not valid until we ran out. So that's good. But for whatever reason, this did not spawn. Oh yeah, okay. Try to adjust. Always spawn. Always spawn. Okay, so that might be why. So it might be like, oh, you're colliding, so I can't spawn. So this should hopefully work this time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5th one's not valid, which is exactly what we want. And oh, they're so close. So close yet so far. Damn it, I thought that was really going to be it. always spawn, ignore the collisions. We're just gonna always spawn. What does it matter, right? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Zero, 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 zero. We're missing 2 again. What the heck? Why? Why is it such a thing? I'm gonna bring that up because it's obviously spawning on the other one now. Hmm. Do. So it only comes up, so we know it knows it's valid, but for whatever reason, it's just not spawning at this correct location. I'm gonna just try one more time because for some reason the first 3 work. I want to kind of see this. There we go. Hmm. That's so bizarre. How it just didn't do 2 of them. Um. I think it's something to do with the random. We're just gonna do get a copy. And then I suppose we could always just do 0 because that doesn't matter at that point. Because something new will always become 0. Works the same as if you're doing like last index. So 0, 0, 0, 0, not valid. There we go. It was the random. I'm not really sure why that wasn't working. I think what it was doing was spawning them in the same location, but that shouldn't have been the case purely because different locations. But maybe I think when it was calling the destroy actor, it was randomizing that get again. So it was destroying a different spawn than the one it spawned to. So what was happening is you probably were doubling up on turrets and you just didn't realize it. That's what was happening. Okay. Which means if we wanted to do the random, we could. We just have to store the reference of which one we were spawning to. Okay, great. So now we just need to work on the generators. I also need to bring this down a little bit more again. I just realized that it was a gap. Okay, so again, if we go to a generator now, we can get. Oh my gosh, this camera's got a mind of its own. We can get our generator spawner. And we just need 3 of those. Like so. And if we grab those 3 generators again, we can copy and paste and drag them sort of. We kind of need them to be in the middle. But we'll test, so it's fine. Right. We'll test and make sure they spawn correctly. Okay, and then we just need to make sure these arrows are facing the right way. So just spin them around a bit. Take that, and then what we can do is just take this and apply that to these ones. Like so. Good, and do the same with this one. And copy and paste that into the other references. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. So that's our generators spawns. I still feel like we could make this a little bit smaller lengthwise because there really isn't a lot of need for the space. I was also thinking about. I'm getting distracted. I know it, and you guys probably know it, but we're gonna go with it. I was thinking about adding in some pillars just to make this look a bit more kind of not so bland, and kind of bring these sorted like this, just to frame the shot a little bit more. I could also bring these in a bit more. Okay. I'm going to delete those two out, and I'm just going to bring these new positioned ones in a bit. And then I want to return this one back around to about there. And we'll put him, excuse me, about there. I think that looks just a little bit nicer. Maybe I could do. Do you know what? I could do a bit more, right? I could do another set of poles, like so, just to break the room up a bit. I think that's a little bit nicer. I'm sure everyone can agree. Yeah, right. Okay, distraction over. Oh my gosh. Right, okay. And actually, I did say I could bring the room in a bit more, didn't I? Actually, so I didn't really think about doing that, but then I've broken the room up a bit more. Okay, cool. Yeah, right. So we need to go back into the shop and again copy all of this good stuff and drag that over here. So that's our money taking stuff. Generator cost. How much did I say a generator was in this? 1,000 as well. Fine. We'll keep it like that for now. And we'll take away the generator costs. Okay. And then we need to do a get all actors. I probably will have to redo that get, but that's fine. Generator, beep beep generator. No, beep beep generator spawn. Generator spawn. Compile, because this will probably error out. No, it didn't. Wow. Okay. So we don't need that anymore, so we can just delete that out. By the way, we're only looking at that to see if what we had was relevant. And then we'll just do something similar. This one's going to be a little bit more interesting just because we don't know if we've got the correct positioning. So we need to do a generator like so and compile. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought that might happen. Get copy and just yank all that into there. Delete. Get arrow like so. It's because it's trying to pull the arrow from the turret version. Okay, great. Compile and let's give it a whirl. I can't imagine for a second that I've got the correct spacing on this generator, but we'll see. Where is he? There's one. It's also facing the complete and utter wrong direction. We'll buy another one, buy another one. That spacing ain't bad. That spacing ain't bad. Okay. We just need them to face the other way. I ran out of money. I need another 1,000. Come on, game. Give me more money. So there is still one more segment of this. So even if we get the placement going correctly and everything's working as expected, which currently it kind of is, we do need to make sure that the upgrades only happen for the generator when we have one or more. And when we buy a new one, it takes the price of the already spawned thing and yeah, and applies that to the other ones. So these spawners are slightly too high, and I think we don't need the change in direction for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Well, we'll give it a go like this. and see what happens. It might be that we need to add 180. I don't know, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Press enter by generator. Where is, I can't see nothing. And it's facing the right direction. Why it does that, I don't know. That is the most annoying thing in the world. But at least it's correct now. I don't know why it does that. That's so bizarre. Okay, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So that's done. So what we need to do now is on the generator, we want to we want to expose the money generated. That's what we're going to do. And on the turret, wherever the turret is, I think this is already, no, it's not. We'll need to expose that on spawn as well. So basically what it means is that if I plug a value into that, it will overwrite whatever default value is in this turret, essentially. So if we refresh this now, refresh the nodes, we've got money's generated as 1. And if we refresh this node, we should have damage as 10. So we know that there's always going to be a turret in the world. So we can just get actor of, not get actor of class, we want get all actors. Yeah, we want get all actors of class, and we just want to get a copy. And we can plug this in, and from that copy, we just want to get damage. I didn't call it damage, did I? What did I call it? Oh, no, I did. Oh, turret. There we go. Compile. This is probably going to error out now. Oh, it didn't. Get damage now. God damn you. This game. Get copy. And get damage. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So yeah, so whatever happens now is when we spawn a new turret, it will take whatever damage the original turret has. And then when we do an upgrade, it will get all actors of the class, and it will loop through them and upgrade all of their damage to be the ×2 that we have currently. So the generator needs to do the same, but it needs to be done slightly differently. So we need to get this, and we're going to set it to generator. We're going to do a get, and we're just going to make sure that before we do that, is this valid? Like so. If it is valid, we're going to promote this to a variable, and we'll call it gen current value, something like that. That's fine. And then if it is, so we're going to set this twice. If it is valid, we're going to set it to whatever this generator's money is. If it's not, we're going to set it to 1. So let's get money generated, and plug that in there. Brilliant. So we can test this somewhat, I believe, just by, we can do this by so if we, the best way I suppose is if we press play and we go to the shop, we buy a generator. I think I bought 2 there. No, I didn't. I just bought the 1. We're going to upgrade the price of the generator, so it's generating us 2 now, and I'm going to add a generator. So we are, it's working out of sync, but it's doing 2 at a time. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, perfect. So, and if I buy another generator, you can see now it's happening a lot faster, and I can upgrade them all, and then buy another generator, upgrade them all, and then in a moment, hopefully, buy another generator, like so. We'll do some turret damage. Okay. Upgrade the damage again. And as you can see, it's very sporadic because they're not generating at the same time. They're generating on their own time. And then as a result, it's just going up very, very rapidly, seems like. But yeah, it's all working, which is great. I'm sure I can do the same thing with the turret as well. Um, and actually, looking at it, they are both doing equal damage, even though that one was bought long after a bunch of other upgrades. So yeah, it's all working nicely. You can. I do need to tweak all of this, obviously, in terms of um, also, I've just realized every time I click into the shop, that resets. So that's not good. Why is that resetting? Is it actually resetting though? Is that going to take 600? Let's let it get to like about 600. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's another thing. I need to make sure that the shop doesn't reset its values after I close it and reopen it because it's destroying the shop. It's not. Yeah, that's I know how to fix that. That's fine. We've already got to 26,000, and the boss is already on wave 25, and it's got a ton of health. So we're definitely doing too much damage. We're definitely increasing the damage by too much. Yeah. Oh my god, we're gonna get into those negative numbers again. Oh my, the generator is creating these. It's just infinite. Okay, so times two is OP. Oh my god, I've got like a ridiculous amount of money. Um, and I can just keep going with the damage as well to the point where it gets back into negative numbers and then eventually hits zero by wave 30. So times two is definitely not the way to go. Um, and the generator is just OP if you just keep upgrading it at 250 at a time. Fine. That's all good. That's fine. We're learning. We're learning about the mistakes we're making along the way. So, looking at what I wanted to do in this hour, I've created the spawner for the turret and the generator. I've connected it to the shop. I've made sure the new spawns take damage plus money from their previous items, so that's good. Um, I'm going to leave the next task that I wanted to do for the next hour because I feel like that's going to take a good hour, if not two. So, we've got about 20 minutes left. So let's do a little bit of rebalancing while we're here. I think this is a good time. So we can shut the turret spawner down. We don't need that anymore. The shop we definitely will need. So the BP generator, it creates one at a time. It's very difficult to uh, add halves and things like that. So we're probably going to have to look at a thing where it's like it doesn't upgrade, it doesn't times two it every time. Because again, you saw how crazy our hand that got pretty quickly when you had 6 generators. Um, and the shop, the turret damage is 10 to begin with. I think that's okay to begin with. So I'm not too worried about that, and I'm not too worried about working in that. The shop's fine. That's all working as expected at the moment. Okay. So I will need to swap these around to go after these is valid, because we just don't want to keep losing money. Not that that really matters at this point in time, because we're gaining so much. So the damage costs 50 every time, but for some reason when I close this, it comes back to being 50. So I'm tempted to move these to the third person character, just because then they'll stay relevant throughout. I could also just collapse the widget instead of destroying it. That might be a shout as well. So we can't times this by 2. So I'm thinking we times it by 1.2. So if you start with 10, you'll end up with 12. That could be something. Money generated is times by 2. So instead of timesing by 2, because then it goes 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 60. Yeah, it's going to get ridiculous too quick. So we're just going to add I think we're just going to add I'm trying to think, do I add one or two or three? Because you're spending quite a lot more money. I'd say five. I think we add five, and I think I made a mistake by closing the generator. So I think I'm going to make it add five straight from the bat. Yeah. Okay. I do want to increase the amount it costs to gain a new turret or a generator. Not by much, but just enough that it feels like things get a little bit harder. Let's reopen that generator for a second. I just want to change this money generated. I think five's better because, again, I'm going to increase the amount of costs and stuff. I also want to add I want to open up the giant again. I closed that too, and that was silly. But here we are. Okay, so cash given, it gives you 100 times the wave. Excuse me. I'm coughing and sneezing. Jesus Christ. So I think also timesing this by the wave is a mistake. And I think the timesing 2 of health is also a mistake. So the max health starts at 30. I think 1.2. 1.25. So they gain a quarter of their health every round. Means you get way more waves out of it. I do need to reduce the amount of cash given as well, though, because if you're going to have more rounds, timesing by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very quickly is probably a big mistake. So I am going to. So cash given is 100. I think we need to lessen that to begin with. Make that 25. No, maybe. I feel like that's harsh, too harsh. I guess I can balance it, 30. And I'm going to float this. And I'm going to say increase that by 1.25 as well. So if it's 30 and you times it by a quarter, that's 7.5. And then it will just hopefully round it. I'm sure it will. Or it'll lower it, either one, right? So let's have a look. 74, yeah, it's keeping it round, so that's fine. Yeah, it's getting slightly more, and we're already on wave 4, and the health seems to be a lot nicer. Let's just ramp things up a bit, speed it all up a bit. Okay, so they're doing still about the same amount of damage, but obviously the damage only increases a little bit. This feels a lot more balanced already. Or maybe not. I feel like, in fairness, I did start with 5,000. So actually, thinking about it, I should stop that immediately and just try and play it a little bit. But wave 16 is going well. He's already up to 1,000 health. I feel like eventually I'm going to have to add the million, billion, trillion, etc. Numerical values. If you want this to be like sustainable, I think it needs to eventually add those figures in to be for it to warrant going this high. Same for their damage, I think. Basically, do like the mobile games do. I mean, we're on wave 20 now. So I also realize because I've taken out the ×2 wave, this is never going to increase enough. So actually, I've gone too far. So let's go back into the giant. Yeah, so the cash given times the wave. I think if I get the wave times this by make that float 0.25, and then add 1. So it's like, so it will increase gradually. So instead of it being like times by 1, times by 2, times by 3, times by 4, you can essentially, it'll slow down the progression in money. So hopefully we'll see an example of that now. We'll buy an extra turret. Okay, so we gained about 70 there. I don't know how much that was, 120. This might still be tweaking, but we're not gaining like ridiculous amounts of money. 508 to 605, so just under 100, and we're on wave 10. But obviously, the longer it goes, the more it will become. So, like, trying to think of the maths, 10 times 2.5 plus 1, so that's 3.5 times 30. So maybe I'll increase the cash to about 50 just to give a little bit more of a boost. But because, his health's not ridiculously going higher. And if I was playing this from one turret with no money, you'd think I'd only just be getting to about 1,000. So, yeah, it scales a lot better. Again, I feel like, so if I put the money back down to 0, I'm gonna we'll do one last test. We've got 8 more minutes of this hour, so I want to try and get the most out of that. So if I do cash given back to like 50, wave 10 would be 50 times 3.25, so like 3. So that would have been 150, which feels a bit better in my opinion, especially, like I said, I'm going to start with nothing now. So I've only got my turret to kind of go by. So it's only 62, 137. Yeah, I think that feels a lot nicer. 224. Yeah, so I could like start doing its damage up now if I wanted to. Obviously, I need to fix the damage increase thing. But yeah, he should be doing a lot more damage now as well. This feels way more balanced instantly. Okay, I can work with this. Yeah, perfect. Wave A, I got 448. 596. Yeah, this is good. This is good. And then you have to make that judgment call, right, of whether you spend your money on more damage or do you save the money for the 1,000 for the turret or a generator. You know, generators will bring in good cash now, so a generator is probably the way to go. Yeah, I think generators may be too overpowered. I'm thinking about. I don't know. We'll see. Let's buy one. Let's figure out if it's too much. Let's buy a generator. Okay. And oh, did I thought I increased the generator to 5. Did I not compile that? Well, it's not worth it at the moment. Okay. Damn it. Money generated. Yeah, 5 plus monies equals monies, and that should be every second. Oh. I know exactly why I did that. I know what I've done wrong. It doesn't matter what value's in there now because it overwrites here. There we go. Okay, try that again. We'll let him build up a bit of money. So I think the way to go is to increase this now. In a second, if I wanted to cheat, I could just do this, and then do that, and then close it again, and do that. It's perfectly balanced, right? Perfectly balanced. So I'm actually having fun playing this and actually testing this. To be fair, I feel like when there's a bit more substance in here, it will feel better. But when it's just your UE5 mannequin with some cubes firing at a bigger UE5 mannequin, it doesn't feel as fun. So in also a bigger cube, like yeah, we got some work to do on the environment and getting this feeling a bit more interesting. Um, but we're in hour 4, right? What can I expect? I'm 4 hours into a project. You can't expect it to be perfect as such. So and we've got some hours to put into artwork for sure, and like getting the feel of everything correct. So we got 1,000. Let's buy a generator. Now let's see how OP this is. So one generator working away is obviously not going to make too much of a dent, it seems, and also I need to increase my turret damage a bit because he's lagging a bit. He's lagging a bit. Um, and in all honesty, hopefully, now that I've upgraded him a bit, he should be. There we go. And also we're getting higher in the waves, so um, we should start getting more and more money, some monies in the next couple of waves. Let's see. Okay, so he's doing 30 damage at the moment. That's not bad for wave 15. And we got a decent chunk of change there. I think, what did I say for 10 waves? It's times 3, so this is going to be about 4.5 times 50. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There you go. Oh, 926. Not bad. If the generator can bring it home, I'll buy another turret. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Push it, push it. Push it, generator. Get me my turret. Yeah, dude. Okay. So now I've got 2 of them. Oh, look at that. So much quicker. Again, our money should start to increase now. I feel like I've made the game just a tad too easy, just a tad. So I feel like I need to um I don't want to increase the health too much because I don't want it to go into those ridiculous numbers. So I'm thinking I drop the damage maybe a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. We'll see. Who knows, right? We're gonna get hard. It's gonna get harder and harder as time goes on. So but wave 19 that uh feels like nothing's really been too hard at this point. I mean, I could just buy another turret and my life would just be easy again. But I'm gonna get another generator instead. So we're gaining 10 per generator. If I also increase it now, I should start getting 10. Oh, look at that money coming in. See, yeah, the generators need to come back down, I think. They're too powerful. They're too powerful. I'm gaining 15 per one now. Oh my god, look at the money coming in. I do need to make sure that these increase stay in place. Look at this. Look at this go. So wave 20 was like 6 times, 7 times the money, so not bad. We should be able to get our 3rd turret now, and we've got about 30 seconds left. This has been kind of invaluable. I think spending the last sort of 10 minutes actually just playing this has shown me that there's still a little bit of rebalancing to do. We've fixed a lot though, considering how it was before compared to how it is now. We're definitely in a much nicer position. Um, let's see. Um, we're out of time now though, guys. So we'll have to keep rebalancing in the next couple of hours. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next episode. Much love. Take care. Bye.